All right, guys, welcome here. Welcome again to AirPower. Now, we haven't had this show up in a while. It's been, gosh, at least a couple years since we've had this show up and going. And I thought, you know, it's about time we bring it back. And I was talking to Ben, we were talking to a bunch of different people because, you know, you guys driving in your car, maybe you want to hear some stuff besides the nauseating news that's out there. You never know who to believe anymore. But you can come here and hear some cool stuff about air guns. We're going to talk about air guns, shooting sports, the outdoors, all kinds of cool stuff. I got Ben here on the line. How you doing, Ben?
Doing good, and we will try to tell mostly the truth.
Yeah,
except unless it's fishing stories.
Yeah, fishing stories. Boy, I tell you what, I had your mic a little bit hot there, but I'll get my ducks in a row. All right, so I believe we can go ahead and bring down that music. We got enough of an intro going on here. So, guess we go ahead and get started, Ben. We got all kinds of cool stuff to talk about. Let me kick up Facebook over here because we got so many things happening. Let's see here. Flip over to videos. We should have me live. We do. I'm going to make sure the speaker's off. I just want to be able to see comments, you know? Let's see.
Good idea.
All right, click this. There it is. We kick that off there. Awesome sauce. All right, we're good to go. We are rolling now. All right, guys, if you have comments or stuff you want to throw out there, go ahead and hit it. We're going to be paying attention here, trying to do the best we can to keep up with everything all at once. One of these days, I'll get an engineer in here that can do this. But if you could see me, if you guys happen to be listening on Eagle Radio, and if you guys ever want to catch this and you can't get to Facebook, it's www.eagle-radio.com. We'll have all our podcasts listed there, and we're also going to send all our podcasts out to all the various places as well. So if you miss it, don't worry. You can always get it again. That's pretty awesome. So, Ben, my friend.
Yes, Rick.
You have been creating content now for AirgunWeb since, well, for a long time, but like full time you started in January. So tell me what you think about that whole process. How's that been going for you? Maybe tell the folks out there what you're working on. You know, give them a little bit of love out there. Tell them what you're doing, and maybe they'll maybe got some comments. If you guys want to jump on the chat, I'm gonna see if I can get it where I can see comments here, and I don't see any, and I don't know how to. You know, man, I wish I was better at this. I can't see any comments. That's
practice,
all right.
Rick,
So yeah, we'll get the hang of it. Don't worry about it. So you guys start throwing some comments up here on Facebook, and I'll see if I can find where they're. Oh, there it is, right there. Hold on. Let me see if this. Yes, there it is. Hello, Facebook. There it is. I found it. I found it, Ben.
Good.
There it is. All right, got it. All right, go for it.
If a caveman can do it, Rick can do it.
That's right. I just watched that ad the other day. You know, that the Geico ad. You ever go on? You ever go on YouTube? This is not airgun stuff, but it's okay. You ever go on YouTube and just watch old commercials?
Yeah, I watch a lot of commercials on YouTube because I'm always trying to get ideas for the videos and stuff that I make. So, you know, someone else already thought of it. That takes half the work out of it for me.
Yeah, some of the best work I ever did, I stole it. So.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, that's what web developers do. That's how I learned how that, you know, why reinvent the wheel? Anyway, you know, the guy's walking by, and of course they had the whole caveman thing, and he walks by, and he sees the ad, and he's on the little walker thing, and he sort of slows down, walks back, looks at it in disgust, and walks away. So anyway, so what you're saying is that I'm a caveman, and if I can run this, then anybody can do it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, I'm saying if he can do Geico, then you can do Facebook Live.
Well, you know, it's not just Facebook Live. You realize it because I've got the mixer with the audio. I've got the Facebook Live camera. I've got the computer that I'm looking at myself that's got, I don't know, 10-second, 20-second delay, which that's always fun. Don't let the speaker come on. And then I've got my audio computer over here that's going to kick out some cool tunes when I need to go to the bathroom or something. So, but hopefully that won't happen. I should be all set for at least an hour.
Yeah, you should hopefully have done that before you went live, right?
Well, one would hope. One would hope. Anyway, so back to the topic at hand. We were talking about you going full time shooting videos for AirgunWeb, AirgunWeb TV. Now you and I met several years back. I mean, back in 2015, I think, wasn't it?
At least it's been about 5 years now. I was thinking.
Yeah, so back in 2015, we met at have some air gunners, and you were saying that you're a videographer, and I thought you were some Yahoo. I had to be honest with you. I thought you were.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know,
Well, you was
I
probably,
gotta prove my worth.
well, you really kind of are a Yahoo, but that's besides the point. You actually shoot some pretty good video, and we did that first video. Remember the first one we did with collar doves with the Walther Rotec?
Yep, yep.
Took that out to.
That was back in the day. Kicked that
Yeah.
out, and we had a good time out there. That was in Bullhead area
Yeah.
shooting the collards,
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
it?
yeah, absolutely. We did that video and that review, and that really sort of started everything. And then we started, talking about AirgunWeb TV, and then the rest, as they say, is history. So pretty cool stuff.
And it's been a good history, good couple of years.
Yeah, yeah.
I gotta say that definitely being able to do video and air guns combines my two passions and the things I love to do. So now I'm really just pig in the mud.
Yep. And you've been working on some stuff for Umarex, right?
Yep, definitely doing a lot of stuff for Umarex, and trying to cover the bases there with the brake barrels and doing some stuff with the Gauntlet. And I even got a couple videos be coming out soon with the CO2 guns, the new Steel Strike for one. It's a super fun new actually full auto 6-shot burst they got on that one, and it's a hoot, buddy.
Yeah. Now, did you get the SA-10? Did they send you that pistol?
No, I haven't received a pistol yet, but fingers are crossed.
All right. Because I just got the SA-10. I got 2 Glocks, and I got the Colt. It's a revolver. Python. That's what it is.
Okay.
Gosh, I can't believe I forgot that. And yeah, no, so we're going to have some cool pistol stuff coming up. That's pretty neat. So, already shot some video with that. Of course, I screwed up the audio, so I get to go do it again.
Oh, well done. That's just a twist your arm, right?
Yeah, you've done that. Yeah, I'm sure you've had that. Gosh, it's nothing. That's frustrating, man. You got this great video. You shoot it. Everything's great. You get back and you plug it in. You dump the footage and just like, oh, crap.
Here's my audio.
Yeah, it was just, well, I don't know. I'm really mad at Samsung right now. This is, again, off topic, but Samsung pisses me off. They forced my upgrade on my phone, and now my video camera doesn't work like it used to, and my 2 Note 9s are basically worthless for shooting video. I got to tell you, I'm pretty irritated with that whole thing. Hopefully they fix it. So it's back to using cameras on the range. So no more cell phones for me for a while. It's a bummer.
Oh, man, you'll have to do it the old-fashioned way and actually get out a video camera.
Yeah, I know. I like the cell phones because it was so easy and quick, but I'll have to just figure it out. Anyway, we're going off topic again. All right, so air guns. You've been doing the Umarex stuff. I've been working with FIREARMS, and I think you've been doing some stuff with FIREARMS too, right?
Yeah, I had the TDR, and I did a couple videos with that. I shot actually at 160 yards, got the knockdown at 160 yards, which was pretty epic. And now I've got a video that should be dropping probably actually this weekend with the Ultimate Sporter 25 cal extra FAC, of course. And I don't know what FAC stands for, but I think it stands for beep awesome something,
FAC is what they have to have for a firearm certificate. So it's FAC is high power. That's all it means.
Yes, Rick, we know that.
But something amazingly crushing. I don't know. So I don't know. We'll come up with some sort of way
something
that acronym
amazingly
would work.
crushing.
Yeah.
Yes, whatever you want to throw in there.
Yep. Okay, so
and I got to say that anytime you get a chance to shoot air arms guns, it really sort of spoils you. The action on those, as you've said and I've said, it's like butter.
Yeah.
And they just really can put it through the same hole. As long as you do your job, they're going to do theirs.
Right. I love the fact that they just keep going with that side lever action, which is what you're talking about. You get the mechanical advantage when you cock it. And, some of these other guns, and not to knock the Marauder, it's a great gun, and it's, like 1/3 the price. So you really got to compare apples to apples, right? So, but that rear bolt, I still have trouble sometimes getting it fully cocked all the way, and then we'll double feed it accidentally. And, I'm kind of used to that, and I still do it once in a great while. But you put a novice behind that gun, and, before you know it, you can get some pretty nasty jams going. And so that side lever, I think, is great. And you don't have to get the $1,600 version Air Arms. They have, did you know, I don't know if you noticed, they've got their regular S510s like $900 now.
Oh no, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I thought it was still 1,000, 1,100 bucks, but no, I think their standard S510, which is a damn good rifle. And I think we should have a challenge between your unregulated S510 Ultimate Sporter 25 and my regulated S510 Ultimate Sporter 25. Then I think we should do a challenge at 50 yards, 75 yards, and 100 yards to see if the regulator makes any difference. If it's the shooter
Well,
or the regulator, I wonder.
yeah, well, I got to tell you, the group I have coming out in this next video, I'd like to see you beat it with your regulated version.
I
I
already
was shooting
saw.
it at 50 yards, and man, it was drilling. That's all I'll say, but it was drilling.
Yeah, I saw your group. I was jealous. Was I already seen it? That's why I mentioned it, because I'm actually personally I'm a real advocate for unregulated stuff. Not that regulators can't be useful and can't be good, but I'm gonna take a little bit of a detour here and go back to the spring gun sort of area. So I still shoot springers. I still shoot brake barrels and underlevers, whether they're spring guns or gas ram guns. I still shoot them. And
Yep.
you take a good, well-built, quality spring gun, and it shoots better than a gas ram gun. It just does.
Oh yeah.
You take a crappy spring gun and put a gas ram in it, it'll make it shoot better. At least the cocking and the shooting action doesn't make it any more accurate, but it does help in those regards. So if you have something that is sort of cobbled together, maybe in a less than stellar quality control environment, I don't know how else to put it, Ben. You put a gas ram in that springer, and it does do better. But if you have a quality
Yep.
springer, like you have a Y-Rock, you have like maybe an RWS, like one of the like older RWS 34, that kind of things, the German built stuff, the Walthers, those spring guns, they're phenomenal, man. They're less recoil, super accurate. I like them better than a gas ram, much better. So, and I think a regulator is the same thing. If you have a gun that isn't terribly efficient, a regulator, you sort of have to have it because that gives you your efficiency. But if you have a gun that's balanced well, like you take BSA, for example, BSA they have their fast strike valve, and they have some other things they do that you can put a regulator in it, and on paper, like you do the Crony test, you'll see that it is more consistent and there is a lower standard deviation. But in reality, on paper, is that significant enough to really matter? I don't know. Bench rest, probably, if you're shooting competition, because every little fraction of an inch matters. But if you're hunting in a sporting environment, I don't think it matters. What do you think?
No, I don't think it would matter. I mean, especially if you're doing your job and getting, like we like to do, get the game in close, under 50 yards, then you're really not going to notice a difference.
Yeah, I don't think that. I mean, I've shot some. I had a Day State. I still have the Day State. This Day State, the Day State
Regal.
Thank you, Regal Huntsman XL in 22 unregulated, and it's shooting dime groups at 50 yards. I mean, it's broke in good now.
Oh yeah.
And it's just a phenomenally good gun. I had the regulated version one here, and it didn't shoot any better. I actually don't think it shot quite as well. I think the unregulated one actually shot tighter groups. Now, could be me at the trigger, but I just think there's a lot more variables going on, like with the guy behind the trigger and the table he's shooting off. And that's a story I'll tell you in a minute here. The table you're shooting off, the rest you're using, all that stuff, I think plays a lot more into that consistent accuracy than does a regulator, personally. So save yourself some money. If you just want to go shoot in a hunting sporting environment and you're not talking about match bench rest, I think you can save yourself some money and not have to have a regulated gun. I know I'm going to get a bunch of people saying I'm full of crap, but I've shot several hundred guns. I think I have.
To take the other side,
Yeah.
I would say that let's say like you took the Gauntlet, for example, and you took the regulator out of it. I don't think it would perform as well as it does with the regulator. I think that
Absolutely.
gun with the regulator that's in it, and the combination that they've got going for that particular setup, it works phenomenally. The shot count and just the accuracy you get from the top of the fill to the bottom of the fill. I would say that you would not achieve that without the regulator.
Now that I completely agree. I guess I need to quantify, because I'm really talking about guns that are already awesome. I mean, so you take like the BSA Scorpion 1200, 22 cal, beautifully awesome gun. You would think it was regulated by the Crony tape. It's not. It's actually an unregulated gun. The AirArms, again, super consistent, super accurate. I think they're putting regulators in those guns simply because the market's demanding it, and I get that. But it adds complexity. It adds failure points. I'd rather have something more simple than a little more complicated that's more prone to who knows what. That's just me.
Right.
So, but on the Gauntlet, yeah, you take the Beeman QB Chief. It's a cheap little PCP that's got just a whomping shot curve, and it's not balanced or optimized. You put a regulator in something like that, it makes a huge difference. But at that point, you might as well buy the Gauntlet. So.
Yep. Unless you just like the wood stock, of course, and
yeah.
being able to do the single shot and everything, a little more simple that way.
Yeah. Now, you've been shooting the Gauntlet, too. We keep talking about that. So, did you get the 25? Did you get the 25 in yet?
No, but I think rumor has it one is on its way to me. So I'm just anxiously greeting the mailman every day as he comes, and sadly disappointed when there's not a big box in the truck. But I have a feeling there will be one there soon.
Sure. So the Gauntlet, now that's a topic that's been talked about ad nauseum, I think. But if you guys out there have questions about the Gauntlet or want to jump in and talk about it a little bit, just jump in. But the Gauntlet is, gosh, for $300. What's not to love about that gun?
Yeah, and I don't think they have it going currently, but I saw when Pyramid Air had their St. Patrick's Day sale a couple days ago.
Right.
They were advertising the Gauntlet with their discounts and 10% off and yada yada. It was like $269 or something. I think they had that thing with free shipping, and that you can't touch that. You cannot touch that. I do not know of a single other rifle out there that would come close to what the Gauntlet can do for that sort of a price.
Yeah, I know. You're probably right. You're probably absolutely right. So I'm going to real quick share this on my timeline. Come join us live on AirPower. All right, done. Nope, I think you're right.
Very good.
I think you're right. So
now, I did just do a video that's already up with the Gauntlet, shooting that one at 150.
Right.
And I was shooting a 5-inch gong, got 5 out of 10 shots on the gong.
And that's what,
and the other 5 shots actually.
How big is that gong?
It was a 5-inch gong.
Okay.
And the other 5 shots didn't miss the black, backing metal. They all hit that. So, and that's, maybe 7 inches, one way and then 7 inches the other. So at 150 yards to put all 10 shots in that 7x7 target area, I'm pretty impressed with that. That was just the 22 cal. Yeah. So when the 25 gets here, oh man, I'm probably gonna go out and repeat that same thing and see if I can't do any better, because I have a feeling that 25 will carry the accuracy out to that distance a little bit easier with that added weight.
I think it will. Now, we shot the 25 back in New Mexico, and Regina, she came on earlier. I don't know if she's still there, but Regina, if you're watching, big shout out to you guys there over at Hunter Supply. They had us out last year, and we shot prairie dogs and did some testing and some pellets, and that was a lot of fun. Those guys are great. You guys need just some decent quality airgun ammo. You got to hook up with Hunter Supply. You can go to them directly, or you can come visit us here at AirgunProShop.com. In fact, let me just throw that out there real quick. Right now this is just something we're doing for fun. We don't have any big sponsors or anything doing it. I just see a need and wanted to jump out and see if there was any desire for it in the market. And so we're doing this. Ben and I are coming up here doing this. We're going to do this once a month. We get to the kind of topic at hand here shortly, which is our upcoming episode of AirgunWeb TV, which is sort of what we're going to use this to launch those episodes. But on the other side, we do have Airgun Pro Shop, and that's a business that I took over here recently. And if you guys are looking for an air gun, and maybe, anybody can go. You can go to Amazon or any of these other places, just buy an air gun. And if you're familiar with air guns and you already know what you want, and you just go do that, because price point's just cheap. That's easy to do. But let's say you're new to air guns, right? And you don't know what scope is going to be the best for you. You don't know what's the best way to fill it. you don't want to have to, mess around with putting the scope on and getting it sighted and optimized. You'd like to just take it out of the box and go shoot it. Well, that's what Airgun Pro Shop does. And we have access to all the guns that Pyramid Air has and these other vendors have. And we've even got some very cool stuff coming out very shortly. And I'll talk about your Evanex video you did and that Max Air, the semi-automatic Max Air.
Oh, yes.
We're going to have that in the Pro Shop, bro.
That'll be there. Oh, that is good to hear, because there was a lot of people asking, where do I get one of those? Where do I get? And some of them, of course, are over in Europe and other countries. I don't think we can ship out that far, but anywhere here in the States, that's really cool to hear you're going to be able to offer that Max Air, because I put it out there in that video. I said I don't know of a single other semi-auto air gun that can do what this gun is doing, and I'm sure there are some out there, but I just haven't shot them yet. And the other semi-autos I have had experience with do not cycle as well as that Max Air can do, or not just that one that I have, but they've got a full lineup of those Max Airs that come in different arrangements. You can get the regular rifle, you can get the bullpup 22, 25 cal, so they've got some really cool stuff in that that little market there.
Yep, that's awesome. So I think Angie just came on. How you doing, Angie? Angie, if you're going to be posting, switch your icon to Airgun Angie, so it's not AirgunWeb answering AirgunWeb, because people are going to think I'm like can't get any friends and I'm talking to myself or something. Go there and change your. There it is. There's Airgun Angie. That's better. Thanks, Angie. So the other person,
hey, Angie.
I'm going to shift gears again here, Ben, because the other person that came on this year, well, she was doing it last year too. Full-time Airguns, actually all last year too. Let me back up a little bit. Last year, a friend of mine, good friend of mine, dear friend of mine, Angie, was looking for some work, and she'd been doing some stuff on Facebook. And I said, I know you like to shoot. She hunts, her family hunts. They go hunting all the time. And I said, why don't you want to do some airgun stuff? And she said, sure, why not? And I just expected her to grab her cell phone, do a few little pictures and things, and call it a day. And she said, how do I edit video? And I showed her something real quick, and she outgrew that in about a week and a half. And then she was into Final Cut and the Mac and all kinds of stuff. I was like, holy mackerel, she's like doing it. So last year she did great. And this year she's full-time. I mean, she's full-time, you're full-time. So we got like this whole crew on AirgunWeb. And I got another announcement. Good night. I should have written a list down, Ben. I think you talked about that earlier.
Yes, I suggested that you have that, but you don't always heed my suggestions. At least not the first time.
So we got a real quick question here. Review the Taipan air guns. Here's the way it works with reviewing stuff, just so you guys know. They just need to send it. It's real simple. If there's a manufacturer out there that's got some guns, or hey, look, I've even had viewers send me their gun, and I've done a video of it. So if you want something reviewed, you want me to take a look at it, compare it to the volume of knowledge. It's not like I've been doing this forever, but I've got 10 years into this, maybe 11 years now, Ben. And I've done, I mean, if you go to YouTube and you count all our videos, there are over 700 videos on YouTube.
Yep.
So I got a little depth of knowledge. So I have the base of comparing one thing to another pretty easily, can just kind of do it off the cuff. But if you're a manufacturer, I don't care if you've got sporting glasses or scopes or a bench rest or a chair or a rifle or whatever, I mean, that's what we're happy to look at it. You just got to reach out. You go to www.airgunweb.com, hit the contact form, shoot me an email. My email's easier. It's editor@airgunweb.com. If there's something you guys want to see us take a look at, real simple. Just send it. We'll take a look at it, and then we'll go from there. A lot of times, if it's something really cool that we think people should know about, we'll just do a video. It's really straightforward. It's not complicated. So, but I tell you what I won't do, and I don't mean to kind of come across as aloof or whatever, but I'm not going to go chase people down to try and review something. Ben, we've got more products packaged piled up than we're ever going to get to. So it's really, I mean, if you'd like us to review those guns, how it usually works is go to the manufacturer and tell them, hey, have you sent anything to Rick at AirgunWeb? And have them get in touch with us, and we'll take a look. It's really that simple, pretty easy.
Now back to the fella's question,
Yep.
Taipan. That's I hate to sound ignorant, but I have not heard of that airgun manufacturer. Where are they out of? Do you know, Rick?
I know. I've heard the name, but I don't know anything about them. So,
Okay.
uh,
I try to know just about, any kind of thing that's out there. I try to see what's out there, even if it's not something that we're currently working with, just so that I can know kind of what's going on. And that is when it's new to me. So I'm gonna have to look that up.
let's see. Taipan Airguns. Let's see. About us. Let's see what they're about here. I'll have to get where we can throw pictures. I could do it maybe on the big screen next time. Oh, they're pretty cool looking. All right, so they look a little bit about like a crawl mixed with a cricket or like a caliber gun or something like that.
Okay.
Let's see, where are
Okay.
they? Where are they located? Ah, Slovakia. Looks like Slovakia. I can't tell if it's the point or the dot. It's either in. Oh, it's Eastern Europe somewhere. Gosh, oof.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back to gonna have to go back to school on here. Our global distributors. I don't see if they have any in the United States. Um, I don't know. Look, let's see. North America. Let's see. In North America, they don't have any that I can see. Maybe down here. Then the Czech Republic. Okay, so tell you what, guys out there, they look high end to me. Randy, if you've got some information or have some contact with them, shoot them a note, man. I'm happy to look at them. I mean, they look like pretty cool guns. They're right up our alley. In fact, they're right up Ben's alley, really, because Ben, I don't know if you're in a place you can see them, but really they're little micro bullpup looking things.
Ooh, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am trying to get the laptop to work simultaneously right now, but my internet connection is just for one reason or other super slow right now.
Okay.
So
We'll just stick with
I'm
one.
not working on that.
Yeah,
Yep.
I got it. Not a problem. So I think what I can do next time is maybe have a screen over here and just pull that kind of stuff up and show it to the camera or something. But it looks like a micro bullpup. The side lever looks a little bit like you'd have on the Evan X or the. It really looks like somebody took a crawl and like made it really fancy.
That's
like
cool.
Yeah, looks nice. So absolutely would love to take a look at one of those. So that's pretty cool stuff. All right, back to Airgun Pro Shop real quick. If you're looking for a gun, you're new to air guns and you want to know what kind of hand pump to get, or do I to pump and go with a bottle and a small compressor, or are the small compressors any good? Or that's what we're here for. It's exactly what we're here for. And if you have any questions like that, you go to www.airgunproshop.com, fill out the form. We'll help you out. You'll talk to Corey or Maggie, and they will take care of you right away. So that's what we do there. So we will go ahead and move on now to another thing, which is why we're doing the show, Ben, which is our next episode of AirgunWeb TV coming out next Friday. So we will have the episode will drop 7 o'clock Mountain Time next week. So it'll be there for the weekend, and everybody can enjoy it. And what are we going to talk about, Ben? What are we going to do?
Umarex.
That's right.
And more Umarex. And it's coming. It's coming this year, supposedly. But we saw the production version and we shot it of what, Rick?
The Hammer.
Yes, the Hammer
I have
is going to drop.
I talked to a little birdie about where things are at. Things are very hopeful that they're actually going to get this thing out. So I can't give dates, but I can say things are looking very good. We're not like where we were a year ago.
That is good.
So we are right on the cusp of seeing the Hammer hit the store shelves, everybody. So I know that's a big deal. We've been waiting a long time. I know I've been waiting for mine, and I can't wait to get it, and we're going to go kill stuff with it. We'll put some meat in the freezer. So
yes, lots of it. And that is what that gun is just gonna crush it at, because 50 cal up to 700 foot. What 700 what
They say
foot pounds
700.
does
I
it
bet
say
you.
they can?
You
I
know,
mean,
you know. I mean, I hate to say it, but Umarex has taken the mantra of every other airgun manufacturer, which is to inflate stuff. Sorry, JB, I don't mean to pee in your cereal, but I mean, come on, let's get real. I mean, if it does 1,300 and it only does 1,050, it doesn't do 1,300. I don't care what you're doing to make that claim on the box, and I'll probably get my fingers smacked for saying that, but it just is. I mean, they're probably going to get 650, between 600 and 650. If they hit 700, awesome, be great. But I don't know, 700 is a big number, man. It's a really big number.
yeah, yes, it is.
It's a big number. Regina's just came up and said bullets are ready. Yeah, I know you guys make the awesome bullets, so looking forward to it. Regina, I'm hoping that when I come out to see you guys, I'll actually have the hammer. It's one of the reasons I'm sort of delaying, because I want to bring a whole bunch of air guns out there, some new ones to Hunter Supply. It's what we do, guys. I take the trip out there and hang out with them for a few days, and we go out to the workshops. Pretty awesome to see David out there. He's got, I don't know how many molds. I mean, just molds upon molds upon molds, and we'll just hand cast a bunch, and we'll go out to the bench and shoot them. Nope, these don't work. They go back in the pot. And then we just do some more, and then we find out what diameter, what size, what weight works really good with a particular gun, and then we know that these bullets are going to give us that 1 inch at 50 yards, or that 2 inch at 100 or whatever. So I love going out there. Those guys are awesome, and they're super easy to work with, and just great bunch of folks. So Hunter Supply makes some dynamite bullets. I got some coming in. Yeah, these guys are coming up here about the hammer. Yeah, I mean, it is going to be amazing. 600 foot-pounds would be awesome. We had a gentleman from Brazil, Fabio. Thank you for watching today and joining us here on Facebook and AirPower. But no, Hunter Supply makes some great bullets. Just
Hey, and Rick, with those, along with those guys, I'm not done on the hammer. I wanted to throw it out there that, it's not like Umarex is just, sitting around, kind of kicking around the same thing, just not putting it out. When we saw the hammer at range day, actually, we went over a lot of improvements,
right,
and subtle changes that they've done to the gun. I forget the name of the fellow you were talking to out there, pardon me, but he was going over the fact that the number one goal that they were, set before them when they went to make that gun was to make a safe gun. And
right,
that was actually some of the few improvements that they had made, was in the lines of making it safer. Something with where the gun will not fire unless the cart or magazine is inserted into the gun there, which, with that much air coming out, if that blows out into the side of your face because you forgot to put the mag in there, that's going to be devastating. So
yeah,
I appreciate the fact that they're doing what they're doing. They're really taking their time to make those extra little safety advancements on it, because that's just cool. That shows that they're thinking about us out here using it and wanting to make sure that it's going to be a successful product, and not just throw something out that's going to blow air into my face and hurt me.
Absolutely. And we did talk exhaustively about that, because it is so important. It is so important to make sure that that thing's safe. The thing is safe and stable and does the job, and doesn't fail. And they've hyped it so much, it has to succeed at this point. And so if I were them, I had a buddy of mine who worked in optics, and he had this project that was handed to him, and it was already overdue, and they were pushing him to get it done. And if you've ever worked with optics in the class, he was building, I don't want to give any, like patented, private stuff. He was dealing with making a prism that, he was making a prism that was going to go in stepper motors, or steppers for making CPUs. So you can imagine how precise that prism has to be to bend the light and move it. And so it's like the tolerances were so incredibly tight that they couldn't make the part. They weren't able to make the part. So they handed him, because he fixes the impossible, and they handed it to him, and he said, "You had a choice. I can give you the part, the whole part, when I'm done, or I can give you 3 or 4 parts of it right now. Which do you want?" And they chose to they chose to let him take his time, because just the blank glass was like $40,000 for just the blank.
Wow.
So by the time he was done doing all the stuff, it's a $250,000 piece of glass. At least the first couple. Then they got the process down. They wound up making, I don't know how many thousands of these things, because he figured it out. So anyway, the hammer is sort of like that. You know, if you rush it, then you can own all the pieces of it when it comes apart. Or you can let them take their time, be patient, and, you know, on the other side, and again, love Umarex, love those guys, but there's a lot of other big bore guns on the market. It's not the only big bore out there. And I got to tell you, unless you're hunting a Cape Buffalo or an elk, you don't need 700 foot-pounds to put something down. Not even close.
Right.
I mean,
Right. Well, you know, when we were shooting at a range day, we were shooting like I think it was either 250 grain or something a little over 300 grain, which would not have done the 700 foot-pounds, but it gets you the hollow point and it gets you probably, you know, higher velocity, obviously, which, in my opinion, you know, you'd kind of appreciate that more than you'd appreciate another 100 foot-pounds or something, because if you're trying to take some game out, you know, past 35 yards, you know, you want that velocity so the projectile actually gets there before they jump the shot.
right. That's huge, 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 because people, I think, are going to be thinking, oh, I'm going to shoot 200 yards with this gun. No, by the time the bullet gets there, deers move. It's gone to the next county. I mean, forget it. It ain't going to work. So, yeah, you got to deal with flight time, and that's why velocity, I think, is really important. I'm working with the new gun. Now, we showed this. Well, people don't know unless they caught maybe a snippet of what I did on sort of the... No, I don't think I talked about it. Well, I'll just spill the beans now. Gambo's got a new gun coming out. It's a new big bore. Last year we had the big bores, which were the TC35, TC45, and the Winchester Winchester 35, Winchester 45. Well, this year, and I can tell you that I know for sure this is true because I got them here. I've been testing them. The TC45, awesome. It's 420 foot-pounds now. It's serious. The TC35, which really the TC35 was a gun that I loved, and they built it because Angie's their face there. Yeah, Angie, big, huge whomp and whack on metal. Let me tell you, the TC35 was this short little. I just love that gun. It's doing about 120 foot-pounds, and if you caught our first episode of AirgunWeb TV, we dropped a coyote right on our range here at the ranch.
Dropped him.
Yeah, just smacked him. It was a her. Smacked her like hard. And so 120 foot-pounds for that purpose is just awesome. That was a 50, 55-yard shot easy. So
yeah, and you're shooting the polymags, right?
We're shooting the polymags. Just crushed it.
Yep.
So the TC35 now is long. It's the same length as the TC45. So what that means for all you guys in Texas is that the TC35 long will be legal to hunt with in Texas for big game.
That is awesome.
35 caliber. It's pushing 150 grain. You know what? I got the numbers right here. Just a minute. I can tell you exactly what it's doing. I can tell you exactly what it's doing because I was down there taking notes the other day. Here it is. TC35. The 150 wad cutters are shooting at 878 feet per second.
That is screaming.
Yeah, you're looking at 200 and, I don't know, well, over 200, like 250 there. The 190 grain, haha. The 190 grains are doing over 800. So they're doing 270 foot-pounds. But here's the thing. We get back to flight time, right? The 81.02 grain JSBs, all over 1,000 feet per second.
Wow, that is awesome.
Not supersonic. We're talking just on the verge. So like 1,035, 1,033, 1,023, 1,020. Like the first 4 shots are like within 15 feet per second of each other as far as the spread goes. What?
I mean, that's not supersonic, but I'd like to see, you know, at 100 yards, I'd like to see something jump the shot on that. I don't think it would happen.
I don't think so either.
That's going to be able to make it so you can get out there and smack at 100 yards and do something hunting with that.
Yeah,
would be awesome.
I agree. That's going to be a solid, and it's darn. I mean, we were shooting the 190s at 112 yards, and I have a 4-inch plate at 112 yards. You've seen it. It just hangs underneath that sawhorse.
Yep.
And we're able to hit that at will. I mean, just one after the other after the other. As long as you're over 200 bar, you can hit that at will. And so accuracy is not going to be a problem. 100-yard accuracy with the pellets, they may be a little unstable. They're going a little fast. So we'll probably have to find a light slug like the 95. We have the 95 hollow point that's been sized for those barrels. That's also a Hunter Supply bullet that I went and worked with them with that gun. We got it dialed in, and that bullet is doing 992 feet per second.
Wow.
Okay, so that's a cast. That's a cast
do the
bullet.
job.
I mean, it drops velocity after a little bit, but I mean, you're going to get probably 3 shots within 20 feet per second of each other. So if you're hunting something like the one shot, you're not out shooting prairie dogs all day or something. You're just taking a pig, or you're taking a deer, or you're taking something like that. It's going to be 1 or 2 shots, and not 10 or 15. You're looking at 3 shots that are going to be touching. I don't know if they'll be touching at 100 yards. I mean, that's a stretch. It's hard for anything to do. But at 50 yards, you'll have 3 shots touching. So
that's cool.
So
that's cool stuff.
That's a very, very cool very, very cool gun. Regina's keeps throwing up. They've got like 42 new bullets coming out, guys. This Hunter Supply, and they've sent me some samples. Or actually, I might get them tomorrow. If I get them tomorrow, I'll be down at the range next week testing bullets, which is darn shame. It's gonna be so hard.
Poor Rick.
Yeah, I go out there and shoot, and I have to get Corey to fill up my bottles because I'm all out of air. Shot so much over the last little bit, I ran all my tanks dry. So, anyway, fortunately, I have several compressors, so we're not going to be short on air. We just got to get down and fire up the generator and get it done. But no, I should be getting those in, and we'll be down doing some testing. So, again, the beautiful thing is, if we need it slightly different size, it's just a trip. I go, oh darn, I have to go to, north of Albuquerque, hang out with some really cool folks, and make bullets all day. It's a hard life, dude.
Yeah, really hard life, especially, if the prairie dogs are out. Gosh,
oh, yeah, that's terrible.
Twist your arm, right?
No, we got to go shoot them, and, yeah, it's really, really hard to, I'm full of crap, too, by the way. So, but anyway, so, yeah, we go there. We just change the size a little bit. We make them, drop them out at 360 and then resize them to 358, 359, see what works, and whatever shoots the best, then we know, hey, we know this diameter on this pellet weight shoots great. So, yeah. Angie's feeling my pain. Thanks, Angie. Appreciate it. I know you have the same challenge. You got to go out and shoot big bore and get new guns and set them up, and it's hard. It's hard work, right, Ben?
Oh yeah, it's always just my least favorite part of the job.
Yeah, and we're all so full of absolute crap too. We're all extremely blessed, and we are very happy that we get to do this, and we put a lot of work in to be in this place. But we do recognize that it's a huge blessing, and not everybody gets to do it. So I'm kind of kidding, but just so you all know, I don't take any of this less than completely serious, because it's not everybody gets to do it. I recognize it, and we're extremely fortunate to have this opportunity. So, guys, don't think I'm goofing off and not taking the job seriously, because I do take it quite seriously. You guys anybody can come out and spend some time. You're gonna learn just how serious I take it. I probably work most people under the table, but it's just the way it goes around here.
Yeah, I can attest to that. I can definitely. We'll be out all day shooting and filming video, and then Rick will be here. Hey, Ben, let's go through that footage. And I'm like, hey, Rick, let's get a beer and go to sleep.
Pretty much. Yeah, no, the work's not done till it's done. That's the part of owning your own business. But anyway, I digress. So back to Umarex and SHOT Show. We were at Range Day. We shot the Hammer again. Got to see all the great improvements. And yeah, Regina keeps throwing this stuff. The 1,200-yard range is open, Ben. I wonder what we could get to shoot that far. I gotta get
1,200 yards.
I've got to get Mr. Lee to make me my own Ibex custom 308, or maybe a custom 257, and just go put a big long heavy bullet in it. All right, I'm getting sidetracked. I'll move on. I'll do that later. I'll have to call Mr. Lee and have an X and see what he can do. So that would be a fun gun. Who would want? I wonder, you guys out there. Let's throw this idea out there. Let's just pitch it. What would you guys think of a 257, a really long barrel that was just for long range shooting? We're talking 300-400 yards here, not 100 yards. We're talking 300-400 yards. If you guys think that would be awesome, then why don't you send some comments my way? Why don't you send me some emails? I'll pitch them over to Mr. Lee, and we'll see if we can build a prototype, see if it's doable. I mean, it's just a barrel and some parts. Well, I wonder if we can do it. It'd be pretty awesome. Yeah, Scott
That
said a
would be a
custom
first.
Creedmoor. Can you imagine a Creedmoor airgun? That'd be pretty cool. 6.5 Creedmoor bullet and airgun. Anyway, boy, you imagine we'd have to shoot helium.
All right,
All right, back to Umarex. Sorry, I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. Hold on.
back to Umarex. So we're out there, we're shooting the Hammer, and then we got the chance to talk to, gosh, now I'm going to space his name, Hunter for Umarex. They're
Steve
at
Kreiner.
the Umarex booth in
Kreiner.
SHOT Show. Steve Kreiner, yes,
Yeah.
Kreiner. Sorry, Kreiner. And the other thing that, you know, of course, I'm a little jealous of is that he's been out there already getting to crush with that Hammer.
Yep.
And, you know, he made the comment that to date, it has not failed him, which is a pretty cool statement to make, you know, because a lot of times, you know, you might shoot something and it's the one that got away. Well, he has attested that has not happened whilst using the Hammer.
Right. Pretty impressive. I mean, I can't say that
Yes,
about all the
very
guns I've
impressive.
shot. I mean, I've even some of the best, nicest, most expensive has, you know, let me down. Of course, I don't know that it was the gun. It was probably me because I pulled the shot or screwed up somehow. It really, I don't think it's ever the gun. Actually, I think it's always the shooter. Hate to say it, but
Yeah, well, that's why they got Kreiner.
Yeah,
it,
right.
Not you.
Hey, thanks, Ben. Appreciate that. Angie's asking what I would
Just saying.
what I would compare the recoil to. I mean, it's a lot. The recoil, it recoils like a beast. I mean, no joke. I've shot the Texan a lot.
But it's not sharp.
No, but it's a significant push. I mean, it is a significant push. It's not light.
Yes.
I mean, it will rock you. And you know, unlike other air guns, like you shoot and you can sort of stay on target. There is no staying on target with that gun. The gun's going to move 6 to 8 inches. So you better hit it, or you're not going to see what happened. You're just not going to see it because I think it's probably about. I was going to say like a 12 gauge, Angie. I really think it's probably close to like you take one of those semi-automatic 12 gauges that have a buffer in it or something like that, and it's probably like that. I don't think it's not sharp like a really light 20 gauge. Like I have a Rossi 22320 combo kind of a thing, and it's super light, and that thing is miserable to shoot in a 20 gauge. It just there's no weight to it, but it's probably like a heavy shotgun shooting. I don't know. It's more recoil than birdshot. It's probably like a light turkey load or something. I'm thinking. I'm guessing. I'm just
You know, the other
spitballing
thing
here.
that you got to factor in there, Rick, is the weight of the pellet that you're shooting. You know, let's say we're shooting a 300 grain pellet.
That's gonna
Now
make a big difference.
let's take it back to a gun that we all know. You know, something like the Gauntlet.
Yep.
Okay, now you and I, we were shooting the 25 cal Gauntlet out in New Mexico last year, and one of the first things that I noticed was that this does have a little bit of a push to it. And for me, I'm used to the 22 cal Gauntlet, and that is like zero recoil, really, almost nothing. You know, and you're going from only the difference of like maybe, you know, like a 15, 18 grain pellet to a 25 grain pellet. And just from the fact that you are pushing out that little bit of additional weight, it translates into something more that you feel in the shoulder.
It does.
So you can imagine, you know, 25 grain, you know, times however many, you know, up to 300 grain. Now you've got something that you are really pushing. So for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And I just think that that's, you know, what's coming into play there is you're pushing out more. So you're going to have a little bit more of a push back. And that's all that it really is. It's a push.
It is a push. And they're dumping. I mean, it's a 2-shot gun. It's 4,500 PSI. You get 2 shots and it's regulated. So it's bang, bang. And then you got to fill it up again. So they're 2 consistent shots, but how much air are you dumping, man? It's like a lot. So there's a significant push. There's a significant push. So it's fun. I mean, I look forward to shooting one. I go back to the practicality of it, and no offense, I can't wait to get one. I will own one. If I don't get one to review that becomes part of my arsenal, I'll probably buy one. They're not going to be that expensive. I will go through the effort of getting it, just so that I can have one. But I look at the numbers. Really, I've seen what 400 foot-pounds does on a 300-pound pig. Let me tell you what. It's enough. It's enough.
Yes.
Would 600 be better? Maybe, but at what point do we start getting into this arms race where we were approaching firearms? And I shoot air guns because they're not firearms. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. But, if you want to go hunt a bear, I'd like to hunt a bear.
I don't know if I want to hunt a bear, but hey, JB did. They killed like 2 out of the tree with the hammer. Awesome. Yeah, I probably do.
Yeah.
I probably do want to hunt a bear. I take it
Yeah.
back. I probably do.
Sign me up, buddy.
I probably do. And that would be a very. I would want that with the bear. I don't want to not have the bear die. I want it to die because it will eat me. I would much rather me eat him than him eat me. So yeah, for those things.
You want a dead bear, not a pissed off bear.
Absolutely. That is absolutely true. Or a really pissed off, really big pig or some other animal. And I don't want to just wound anything either, So I see the value. And, it's, like everything, you pick the right tool for the job. Probably not a...
Exactly. It's not going to be the gun you grab out every day.
Probably not a prairie dog gun. Hey, no. Charlie. Charlie's my buddy up in Vermont. How you doing, buddy? Charlie's joined us here. So... he's buddies with Gary Sanders. Those guys down there are up there, I should say, that go and shoot it. I don't think Charlie goes and shoots, but I know my sister Carrie does, and they're neighbors, so they go shoot every week there at the little range they have up there in Northfield. Pretty cool. Well, went a couple times. It was a lot of fun. So,
talking about something from this next episode that we would want to shoot every day, and that has got to be that new underlever multi-shot magazine that they're coming out with from Umarex. What is that, the Synergist?
Something like that. That actually has my attention too. Like I know on the episode I said it, and it's absolutely the case. When we were talking, I was talking to some manufacturers about how to do a multi-shot brake barrel, because I had somebody ask me before they came out with the multi-shot brake barrel, what's the next thing, Airgunners, what's the next thing we need in the market? I said it's a multi-shot Springer. I mean, everything else has been done. You got to do a multi-shot, and they did. So there you go. So they did the Swarm, but now other manufacturers are coming along, and the Swarm has done it so well. I mean, they really did it well that everybody's really trying to push to catch up. And I'll be curious how this gun does. The thing that they did that I would have done is have a fixed barrel. So you have the underlever cock, which then the magazine's self-rotating, and there's a probe that pushes it, and you maintain that barrel. You're not breaking the barrel every time. As much as I like brake barrels for their simplicity, if you don't have like a precision barrel joint, then you're just you're just counting the hours till you got to get the barrel joint rebuilt. So I can't wait to see how that gun does. Now, the really high-end brake barrels like the Wyroks and those Dianas and that kind of stuff, they're fine. But some of the lesser expensive, we'll say, imported brake barrels, they have a lifespan, and it's just the nature of the beast. So not going to last forever.
Yep.
Ben, did you look at the time yet?
Yeah, it's about 7:50 right now, I believe.
It is getting
well,
right up
I guess
there.
that'd make it 8:50 your time.
We have blown through just about an hour already. It does not take much.
Well, what does that mean?
That means we're just about done, dude.
Yeah, I guess it does.
All right, so let's wrap it up a little bit. We got coming up next week, we have our next episode of AirgunWeb TV. We're going to be at Range Day. We're going to be shooting a bunch of Umarex guns. We'll actually be talking to Ninja as well. They've got some cool new products, which I did not get into today because I want to save it for the video, Ben. But it is related to the Gauntlet. So that's a little tip there. You guys be sure to catch that. So Ninja was there. We shot, not only did we shoot, well, we didn't shoot the multi-shot brake barrel or multi-shot underlever, but we did shoot the new Ruger 1022 replica. Right?
Yes, we did.
That is a neat little gun. If you're into the Ruger 1022, which there are a lot of people that are, this is a gun that is an actual, what's the right word? Certified? That's not the right word. I don't know.
License?
There we go. It's an actual licensed replica. Thank you, Ben. It's a licensed replica from Ruger, and it is the real deal. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Like JB said on the videos, they're hoping to see a lot of those under Christmas trees, and at $130, I'm betting they're going to have a lot of them out there. I think they're going to make a crap load of
Yes,
those guns. So those are I'm looking forward to that.
To contrast, that gun to, to my knowledge, the only thing that was sort of similar to that, in the most recent years here has been that multi-shot CO2 gun from Crossman that used a similar sort of a clip in the mag. Yep, the 1077, and that was a decent little piece, but the problem that I always had with that was that it was a little too small and a little too plasticky.
Yep.
And I got the feeling whilst handling this Ruger 1022 replica that it is not going to be in that same sort of a category. It's going to be a couple steps above something like that. So, for the folks out there that want to have that multi-shot plinker CO2, little rifle, this is something that I can shoot, but then also I can hand to my little boy and he can shoot it. And, it's not going to be uncomfortable for either of us to use. And I have a feeling it's going to last a little bit longer than some of the others out there as far as longevity of the parts and so forth, because I think they made it a little bit better.
I think I would absolutely, completely agree. And the other part that they really addressed, because the Crossman 1077 really was sort of a Ruger-ish gun. They couldn't put Ruger on it or call it that because they'd get sued. But it is very Ruger-esque.
You want to get sued?
Yeah, no. But the thing that Umarex did is they have the the cocking on the side, like the charging handle that you'd have on a regular 1022. That exists. So if you want to cock it and shoot it in single action, you don't have that big heavy trigger pull like you always had with the 1077.
Yes, and it is a very light trigger pull when you cock it. It's just what, like 1.5 pounds or something, maybe 2 pounds.
Yeah, maybe 2 pounds. But it's that's the way it should be. So pretty excited about that.
Yep.
So I'm sure we're gonna get some of those. They'll be out later this year. So have some fun.
I'm getting one. It's on my list.
We have the CO. Yeah, you do have that list on your list. We have the CO2 field target, which we touched on briefly. Maybe we'll get to that in our next show, or we'll touch on what that's all about. Maybe we'll even have it built by then. Who knows? But that gun would be kind of a fun gun to do like a speed drills with. Like with reactive targets or something. Like a 3-gun kind of deal.
Yeah, sort of like what I did when I took the Evanex out the other day. See how many you can get down, time yourself.
Yeah,
a little competition on who's faster. Yeah,
we can do that. I've got those IASS targets from Rob Potter that are the reactive steel targets for his Airgun 3-gun stuff, which we could set those up and we could have a lot of fun. Do some mag changes and do some pistols. Have the Umarex pistols with the Umarex, the 1022 and the Ruger 1022. That would be, I could see that being a lot of fun. Well, guys, you have completely burned and wasted an hour. I don't know that it's wasted, but you certainly burned it. And we are coming to the end of our show here, Ben. I'm going to put a little traveling music on here to kind of carry us out. Let's see here what's about the right length. This one here should be just fine. So I'm going to put a little music on here as we wrap it up. Lee, you joined us just as we're closing out, buddy. But just so you know, these will be on Facebook. If you want to go back and watch it, you can do so. And also, I'm going to be converting these into, I'm working right now. Okay, good, Angie. Awesome. I am going to be converting this to podcasts. So if you guys want to download this, you miss it, you want to catch up with it, you'll be able to get those and listen to them, drive it in your car, whatever you want to do, you're going to have that. So it's pretty awesome stuff. Ben, thank you for joining me, man.
Yeah, Rick, I will join you anytime to talk about air guns, my friend. I love talking about air guns.
All right. If you guys want to get on AirPower, it's very easy. You're just going to have to Skype me, which means as long as we're buddies on Skype, you can call me and you can come up here and chat with me and Ben. Next show is going to be the 3rd Friday of next month. I don't know what the date is. It'll be the 3rd Friday. Because the 4th Friday, the last Friday of the month, will be our next episode, which will be our final episode of SHOT Show. And we're going to wrap the whole SHOT Show coverage up in April. And then we've got more stuff already in the can. We got so many cool things stacked up this year. Hopefully we'll have that hammer coming in. It'll be really awesome, Ben, if I had the hammer before our next show.
Oh,
That'd
yes.
be awesome. All right,
Yeah,
guys.
well, that would be awesome. And Rick, just so you know, it is the 19th
All
of
right.
April. That is when it'll be. That is the third Friday, the 19th. That's when we'll be back live again next time, guys.
All right. So April 19th, put it on your calendar. You know, I think that's my stepmom's birthday. Well, she can come join us on the show. Maybe, I don't know. I doubt it. She's not much.
Yeah, bake her a cake.
I'll be eating the cake because I like cake. All right, guys. You guys, thank you for coming up here. Tell your friends about it. Share it if you don't mind. Anything you guys do that way just really helps us out and gets the information out there, and it lets us keep doing this. So we appreciate everything you guys do so we can do stuff for you. All right, guys, that's it. Bye, guys. Bye, Ben.
See you guys. See you, Rick.